In today's video, I'm talking about why you should or maybe shouldn't be shooting RAW+JPEG. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to talk about something that's a little bit controversial, and that is when you're shooting your photographs, whether you should be using RAW+JPEG, that is to record a JPEG image as well as a RAW image at the same time. And I'm not here to tell you to shoot one way or another. I just want to share some of the scenarios where I found that it's becoming a little bit irrelevant to shoot RAW+JPEG. And then on the other side, I want to share with you the scenarios where I still shoot RAW+JPEG because it makes sense for my processes. So let's start off with the reasons why people shoot RAW+JPEG and why you might want to reconsider. So this is the one that I hear from people the most. They think that they have a backup, so they will shoot RAW to one of the cards and then they will shoot a JPEG to another card. The thing is that a JPEG is not a backup of a RAW file. There's a reason why a JPEG is around about the quarter size of a RAW file. There's a lot of information that gets stripped away and that is just missing. And so when you go to edit a JPEG file, you're going to run into limitations that simply weren't there when you were, or when you compare to editing to a RAW file. Specifically, you're going to find things like the white balance and also the dynamic range. There's going to be a lot of information in the highlights and in the shadow that simply will not be there in the JPEG just because of the compression. Okay, so it's 2021 and I think this one is completely irrelevant now. If you go back 6-7 years ago when we were still using 1 gig cards, 500 meg cards, potentially you could run out of space if you were just shooting RAW. But today you can get a 64 gig SD card for around about 20 bucks, and that's going to let you shoot RAW pretty much all day and you're not going to run out of space. And even when it comes to archiving your photographs, hard drives are also inexpensive these days. You can get 2 and 4 terabyte drives for really not that much money. So this one I think is one that's definitely irrelevant in 2021. Now this one here is probably a little bit more relevant, particularly popular with wedding photographers. Now I don't shoot weddings, but the people that shoot weddings tell me that sometimes halfway through the wedding, perhaps when they're serving the meal, the photographer will pull some of the JPEGs out of the camera and go straight onto a projector so that they can have a slideshow showing while the guests are having their meal. And this is fine as long as you don't have to do any tweaks to the photograph. But the other thing that people are telling me is that they're actually going into Lightroom so that they can tweak things like the contrast and the brightness. And then if you're doing that, you're kind of going into Lightroom anyway. So I don't know why you wouldn't be shooting RAW, because you would have a better file that you can then go in and edit. So yeah, that's not really, it's not really a practical reason to do it unless, like I said, if you're going straight out of camera and you're going straight into a projector. Now, the other reason where you may want to share those images is in a commercial shoot when you're working with art directors and stylists, and you need to share the images with them. A lot of the times on commercial shoots, what we'll do is we'll have software on the computer when we're shooting tethered that will transmit the images to their phones or iPads or any other sort of smart device or tablet. And the thing is that we don't need to shoot JPEG in order to do that. The computer will generate a JPEG that it sends out to the tablets or to the phones, and so you can continue shooting RAW whilst transmitting a JPEG version to everyone else that's working on site. Okay, so this next one is probably the most relevant one that I think is there for shooting RAW+JPEG, and that is when you're doing wireless tethering. So if you don't know what that is, that's when you connect your camera to a computer or or a laptop or a tablet, and you are sending the images as you capture them on the camera. They're being sent over to this computer. And the thing is that with modern day cameras, because the sensors are so large, sometimes a file can be 30, 40, or 100 meg even for some of the bigger cameras. And so sending a file of that size wirelessly can actually take 5, 6, 7 seconds is what I've seen. And so it does slow down the process a little bit, which is a little bit frustrating because it sort of breaks the rhythm a little bit, especially if you're shooting with people where you're continuously shooting a lot of images. And so for that reason, I have in the past set my camera to shoot RAW plus JPEG so that I can capture the RAW images to the card and then just send the JPEG images to the computer. Now the JPEG images are about a quarter of the size, so using those sort of systems, a lot of the times you can get away with just about a 1 second transmission from the camera over to the computer. But that's really probably the only time where I still shoot RAW plus JPEG. And to be quite honest, most of the time now, I've just done away with wireless tethering. I just get a longer cable and I plug a physical cable from the camera to the computer. And with that solution, you really don't have a lot of lag at all. It's very, very fast because it's a cable. It can transmit a lot faster than it can wirelessly. And I do have videos if you want to know how to shoot tethered. I'll link them somewhere in here. But if you are wirelessly tethering to a computer, then this may be the one valid reason why you still want to shoot RAW plus JPEG. So I'm not telling you to shoot one way or another. I'm just trying to give you the information so that you can make an informed decision depending on your process. What I will say is that you should always strive to shoot RAW. A JPEG is no substitute for a RAW file. A JPEG should be the result of an edited RAW file. You're always going to get a lot more information in the RAW file to make that edit, to push that edit. And then, yes, when you finish, you export it to a JPEG. But if you start with a JPEG, you're already starting down with a cut down version of the file. So just understand that and only use it when your process demands. Anyway, that's all. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree, more importantly, because I'd love to know what scenarios you use RAW plus JPEG that work for your process. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below or just through any of the usual social media platforms. You're going to find all the links in the description below. And guys, if you enjoyed this video or you found it useful, please don't forget to click the like button. It makes a massive difference to me because it shows me that I'm making the kind of videos that you enjoy watching. And if you didn't like it, you can hit the thumbs down button as well. That's okay. I'm always just interested in your feedback. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, consider doing so. I make videos like this to help you with your photography once a week, sometimes twice a week. So if you don't want to miss out on any of the videos, hit the subscribe button and then the little notification bell next to that. That way you'll be notified when I upload a new video. And finally, before I go, don't forget to check out ministryoffphoto.com. That's my website where you're going to find links to all of my videos. There's some tutorials in there as well. There's some articles, some reviews, and also some freebies, some presets and stuff that you can just download. It's completely free. So make sure you check it out. That's ministryoffphoto.com. Okay, so that's everything. Again, don't forget to click the like button. Guys, I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.